Do people underestimate you? This video here is going to give you steps to stop feeling underestimated and become indispensable once and for all. You'll learn why people, including yourself, may underestimate you, the 3 golden rules for becoming crucial, what to do when people misjudge you, and how to actually use underestimation to your advantage. Let's do this. Step number 1. Do you underestimate yourself? You need to understand the why of being underestimated first, with science of course. You're not getting enough feedback. Are others not reaffirming how well you're doing? Science says feedback matters. In one study, people performed tasks equally well when given feedback or not. However, those who were left in the dark actually underestimated their abilities. The liking gap. Stranger bias is when we meet someone and automatically assume that they don't like us. This makes us think that they've underestimated us, but in reality, science says otherwise. It turns out that we're actually much more likable than we tell ourselves we are. It's all an illusion. Do you know the guys who came up with the Dunning-Kruger effect? Their names were Dunning and Kruger. Surprise, surprise. Anyway, these researchers surveyed undergrad students and then asked them to score themselves. Interestingly, the students who overestimated the scores actually scored the lowest. As for the students who underestimated themselves, they actually scored the highest. The study shows that the best performers may actually underestimate themselves the most. Bottom line is to figure out a way to keep yourself motivated with your own success. There's no reason why you shouldn't be happy with yourself unless you want major change. Check out our other video about change and learn how to change your life if this is the case. Step number 2, be a giver. All indispensables are givers. They give without expecting anything in return, like this guy. They give their gifts, talents, and unique skills to others, so build social connections. When you give, social exchange happens. You're no longer taking, and then you enter the giving loop. When you give, people give in return. It's literally contagious. Step number 3, embrace the naysayers. There were once 4 young men from Liverpool who went to an audition at the record company Decca in London. They were ultimately rejected. The group was even told that guitar groups are on the way out. Time passed by and the owner of that label, Dick Rao, realized he made a huge mistake. He later became known as the man who turned down the Beatles. Now here's a thought experiment. What if the Beatles had listened to those naysayers? What if you listened to those naysayers? The key to dealing with people underestimating you is not to ignore them, but to embrace them. Naysayers can be dream killers. They poke holes and ask hard questions and doubt you. But you know what? Sometimes that's super helpful. I want feedback to get better. I want to improve myself. So I save my dream killers for when I'm ready to look for improvements. I treat them like free career coaches. You can't avoid all of the dream killers out there, but leverage them to your advantage. Avoid them during your creative stages and seek out criticism when you feel resilient. Step number 4, increase your confidence. This means we need to make a few changes. If you want to stop people from underestimating you, show them that you have the confidence all the way through. Now it's going to be super hard to change your confidence in one go, but a really amazing way to do this is by going on a quest. A quest is a project or journey with a clearly defined goal. This can include finding, building, creating, or sharing, but all of these must include a goal. Having a goal and tackling it is a huge confidence booster. Step number 5, stop people pleasing. Are you a natural born people pleaser? Common signs of this is feeling anxious when people are mad at you, or forcing laughter into conversations. You may even feel hesitant to give your own opinions. A huge downfall in being a people pleaser is that people constantly underestimate them. So if you're working on avoiding this or getting through this, check out our other video called How to Stop Being a People Pleaser. It's time to say no. Just remember, don't ever apologize for existing. Don't ever apologize for setting boundaries, and don't ever apologize for stating your needs. Step number 6 is to learn your smart phrases. A smart phrase is a clear statement or comeback that you say when someone underestimates you. It's like a conversation starter, but something you have to keep in your back pocket and say whenever opportunity strikes. So let's say you're in a meeting and your boss is going around assigning tasks. You feel like you've gotten the shorter end of the stick. You know you can do better. So here's how you ask. I would love to help. What more can I do? I'd love a challenge on this one. Have anything else for me? Would you mind giving me some insight to these assignments? Is there anything you have me on this one? I think I can do even better. Find ways that people underestimate you and write down your smart phrases. And whatever you do, avoid lashing out at all costs. This just makes things worse. Step number 7, stay calm and move on. Do you specifically remember the last time you were underestimated? Experiments have revealed that witnessing rude behaviors actually decreases citizenship behaviors and increases dysfunctional ideation. In other words, rude people who underestimate you spread negativity. To get my point across, people who stay calm and prove themselves through their actions get their work done the most efficiently. So here are a few pointers to help you deal with rude people and remain calm because they aren't worth your time. Try to avoid people who underestimate you for the first off. Yeah, we talked about embracing them, but in the end, you probably don't want to hang out with them all of the time. They drain your precious energy. Don't let them get to your head either. This is easier said than done. But don't ever force them to change. Studies have shown that over years of data and over time, people don't change. They don't change that much. For the most part, their personality remains the same. Traits like that won't change, and if they do, it'll take many, many years. So just flash them your sweetest smile and kill them with kindness. Step number 8, stay humble. Like Scott Lynch once said, there's no freedom quite like the freedom of being constantly underestimated. People who stay humble, continue doing whatever, have already embraced the naysayers in step 3, and remain steady throughout whatever process. And it works because this is what underdogs are. These are the people who are underestimated, but then become winners. So what are ways people are underestimating you? What are ways you can take advantage of that? Step number 9, focus on yourself. It's fairly obvious that all these suggestions given are to focus on one person, you. So think about yourself as a bank. The more you invest in yourself, the better you will become. It's your choice and your steps to take the decision that you want to make. So take out a pen and paper. Make 2 lists. Make one about skills you wish you had, like programming or communication or people skills or public speaking, management. And then make another list, the second one, for desired people skills. So this could be like having a good first impression, being able to negotiate, having great conversations. Whatever it is, write it on that list and get it done. Step number 10, always be learning. Now, take a thing from the list above, try to master it. Make learning your priority. So we talked about having a quest earlier, but here's a lifelong learning quest. Learning gives you interesting things to talk about. It makes you more interesting, it gives you fresh new opportunities to impress others, and it's a lifelong process. It's the antidote to non-progress. The more you learn, the more you feel capable. Finally, step number 11, the 3 golden rules of being indispensable. Okay, I have a secret for you guys. You're amazing. But don't just take my word for it. If you're watching this video, then chances are you really are a go-getter. You're working hard to improve yourself. Yay. But maybe you're not being valued for your time, money, or effort. Maybe people just don't seem to get who you are. Guess what? There's 3 key principles that, once learned, can make you absolutely indispensable. With your friends, every relationship, at work, socially, professionally, everywhere. Okay, sound good? Here are the 3 golden rules for being indispensable. 1. Persistence. Indispensables give it their all. Whatever they are doing, they give their 100%. And daily action that accumulates day after day leads to long-term success. Build up your good daily habits slowly over time. 2. Fearlessness. You need to overcome your fears to become indispensable. Fears stem from not knowing yourself, being overwhelmed by external circumstances, not feeling in control. And finally, 3. Selflessness. Indispensables give genuine gifts without expecting anything in return. We talked about this before. They're kind, they're humble, they're caring. To be truly selfless, be a kinder person first. So remember these rules and remember that you will go a long way without being underestimated. I'd love to hear your own story about being underestimated, so comment that down below. Like this video and be sure to subscribe to the Success Bistro for more videos like this.